Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Good to see you. Who fancies a little bit of a play? So I'm going to be doing another page in my ring-bound journal, hopefully. But today is playtime experiment type of day because we're going to do some mixed media. So I am completely new to mixed media. I don't do it. I'm completely new to it. But I made these last week. These were my first real proper good go at mixed media. And I was kind of going for a mossy brick wall kind of a thing. And you know what? I absolutely love them. I think they turned out so cool, especially, you know, for someone who doesn't do this type of stuff. So we're not doing that today, but we are going to be doing some mixed media. So it's a bit of a play, a bit of an experiment, and we're just going to see what we can create. Okay, so I've got this this piece of junk mail card, and I thought size-wise it makes a pretty good sized page for my journal, the big ring bound. And at some point I covered the back of it with some music sheet. I don't know why or when, or just it happened. I don't know. But I thought, you know, I'm just going to stick with that, and yeah, I'm just going to use this piece of packaging, I guess. So I've got this. Now, this is just some brown packing paper, and following an idea from Joey DeFee, this is like my mop-up paper. So you'll see I've got some brown distress ink in there. And what she suggested doing was scrunching up your paper and then going over it with either some gold paint or some gilder's paste. So I did both. I used my gold acrylic paint and I used my gold gilding polish, so that we could get sort of two different shades of gold. And I thought, being a Tim Holtz journal, we could start with this as our base, hopefully. I'm going to use my matte medium gel, for want of a better thing. I don't know what the paint will do if using that, but we're just going to yeah, we're just going to go for it, basically. So I have protected my desk with some junk mail, and I'm just going to, yeah, try to glue this onto the paper. So let's see if this works. I might have to use something else alongside this. I don't really know. As I say, I don't often do these things, so this is just my playtime, and I thought I'm going to record it because if it works out, then it might be quite interesting to watch, you know. Okay, I'm wondering whether to use some other glue on the underneath and then use the mixed medium on top, because it doesn't seem to be wanting to stick down. So let's try the Kalau instead. So yeah, this is just going to be a fun page in my journal. I thought, being sort of Tim Holtzy, I felt like mixed media was a good combination for that, you know. And I do want to, yeah, learn that these things are fun, and yeah, I just want to give them a go, really. But yeah, definitely not an expert. I am not. Crafty Ali Creates, she does wonders with mixed media. Sunflowers Indoors, Louisa Heinzel, Mandy Chilvers. Mandy isn't on YouTube, but she has a great Instagram account. So, but yeah, all of them, I would call those mixed media pros. I am just simply making it up as I go along, and I'm going to see what happens. So I'll probably have to speed up quite a bit of this video, because there are, you know, with mixed media stuff, there's a lot of steps involved, really. So Okay, I think that is stuck down, but I've just got areas where I think I'll go over it with the matte gel. I'll just see if that helps a bit. Okay, that's the matte gel medium part done. So now I think I want to obviously leave that to dry, and once that's dry I'm going to obviously trim around the edge so I can see my page again, and then I will want to use some gesso potentially and maybe some napkins. So yeah, I will be back in a bit. Okay, so that's all dry now. I've cut the piece down ever so slightly because I didn't want the music sheet to show on the edge there. So this is where we're going to have our rings. So obviously with all the pieces I've been putting this this cream piece on, and I think that looks so cool. It kind of looks like faux leather with gold splashed on it, kind of a thing, and I really like it. I think I want to do more to it, but I'm not going to go crazy. I thought this was going to be a you know, a massive mixed media, but actually I just really like that. So I might do some stamping or some stenciling or something on the background. But I wanted to show you how I want this part of the page to look. So Tanya from Tatty Treasure had a great idea when she was doing her Tim Holtz ring bound journal, where she had a belly band of playing cards. I think she was actually doing her piece on a giant playing card as well, which was really cool. I am going to obviously use this junk mail, and I really like the contrast of the blue and the brown. The difficulty I'm having is that these cards are brand new, so they're very white, and obviously we have a cream border with a grungy background, and so yeah, the bright white doesn't really go. So I've just been playing around with my vintage photo ink to see if I can try and grungy them up a little bit, and I'm using gesso as well, and I'm thinking that that kind of helps a little bit. I kind of wanted them to look like you splashed, you know, they've got sort of tea splashed on them a little bit, kind of a thing. So I think I'm going to try and do a few of these, and then we can sort of build it up from there. So I'll show you what I have been doing. So with my playing cards, I've used white gesso on the backgrounds because they're, you know, a type of plastic, shiny plastic. The gesso just acts as a primer for when we come to add our inks and things. I'm not doing a particularly like thick layer of gesso, just a very thin layer, because I don't want to lose the fact that it's a playing card. I still want that to be able to be seen, you know. So just a very thin layer. So I'll do them all, and I'm hoping that I will like how they all look on the page. But as I say, this is sort of, really it was a bit of an experiment day. Even if it wasn't quite the video that I thought it was going to be, it's still an experiment. So so yeah, I'll just do all these. So I'm thinking 3 or 4 cards is probably enough for the belly band. And then I've got another card that I want for the pocket on the other side of the page. Okay, so we're going to leave those to dry. Gesso, especially when it's only a thin layer, is quite fast to dry. So we shouldn't have to wait too long. Okay, so I think we're about there now with the gesso. So I'm going to take my vintage photo distress ink, and I'm going to splash it with some water. And we're going to dip our cards in the ink. as I say, it will just it will pick up some of the ink in places so that we can get kind of like a, yeah, you've kind of splashed your splashed your tea on it, or your coffee on it, or yeah, your tea. I'm using paper because I don't have like a glass mat or anything. You could probably use like plastic packaging. Equally, you could use like brown packing paper, which is what I use normally. I just don't have any to hand. Which is actually what the background of the page was made from. Okay, so I'm just going to dry them with a heat gun and I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. They are, I think I was less hesitant with the ink and the gesso this time around, so they have come out, you know, a lot more faded than the first one, but I prefer that. So I'm going to try and ink them with the black and see how I feel about that. So I'm just, yeah, I don't have a black, a dauber that I'm using for my black ink, so it's just to help them stand off the page a little bit, hopefully. Okay, so there we have them. Definitely looks like they could have been a victim to a tea splashing incident, I think. So yeah, the ink needs to dry, the black border that I've just done. But yeah, I'm thinking they're gonna look really cool on there, I think. I think they sort of go with the background a little bit more, whilst still bringing in the blue. Yeah, I think the bright white before wasn't quite right. So I'm just gonna let the black borders dry a little bit, otherwise I'm gonna get it all over my fingers. And then we need to have a think about what we're gonna do with the background. As I say, I really like the piece as it is. I just feel like maybe I should do something else to it. So maybe some stamping or something. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've just done some very, very light stamping. I've got a floral scripty set of stamps. So I've just gone over the background. You can probably barely see it. You can see it more in person. Just adds a little bit of a something to the background, but not much. And to be honest, I think I'm just going to leave it because I'm really, really happy with it as a background. So hopefully these cards are dry. So let's just bring them in and then I can choose which ones I want to use. Right, let me bring in my my template again, just so I can keep an eye on where these need to be. So these are going to be a belly band. So I want them to be in the middle. Good, that one. I want them more higgledy, so I am thinking you might want to get, there we go, more like that. Okay, I think I'm going to go with that. Now, because they are plasticky, I'm going to use my beacon, just because I think that will work a bit better. So, I'm going to start by gluing them to each other with a decent amount of glue. Okay, yeah, and then this one. Something like that, I think. Just trying to... I want them to be kind of more higgledy-piggledy, but I think that's about as good as we're going to get. Because we obviously don't want them to be in the way of each other either. Okay, and then we can glue the top and the bottom as a belly band. I think I said, if I didn't say, sorry, but I think I said this is inspired by Tanya from Tatty Treasure. I'm pretty sure I did say that, but if I didn't, then it is. And I will, if I can find her video, I will. I'll link it down below so you can see what she got up to. Okay, that is our belly band piece. I hope they look tea-dyed enough, you know, in terms of like, yeah, we've had a bit of a splashy accident over the years with these playing cards. And yeah, as I say, we've got this space. Oh, I think I want to get some extra glue in. Oops, sorry. Just here. So let me just move that out of the way, because we don't want to be able to put things in there. So let me just get some extra glue. I think that's going to be better. So that should be good now once that's dry. So we have a playing card belly band on our splashy mop-up paper background. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. Obviously we can add more decoration to the playing cards, which I probably will do. I'm just not sure about what that will look like yet. So now we need to cover the background. So for this side, I want to bring in some of the blue. So I'm just going to get my pieces cut down to size and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the piece I've got for the background. This is from my porch prints. So I'm going to use this. And I'm going to go just the whole way across just to make it easy. And for this I'm going to use my beacon because I'm gluing onto a shiny junk mail type surface. I've cut it a little bit smaller than the whole page because where I've hooked that brown paper over, I kind of liked the fact that it had this brown border against the blue. Try and tie it into the page on the other side really as well, you know, the blue and the brown together kind of a thing. So I have that. Oops, sorry if I'm shaking the camera, just making sure we're definitely all nicely glued down. Perfection. Perfection. Cool. Yep, so this is where we're going to have our rings. So I just keep putting it in because then that way I can't possibly make any silly mistakes. So that's that. And I'm going to use this piece as a pocket. I think I want to put a slight gusset in it. So let's get my scoreboard. So I just want to see how much room I've got to play with, because I probably, I'm trying to decide whether I want the pocket to have a gap or be wall to wall. I think we're going to go wall to wall. So let me measure. I have just over an inch, or just under an inch and a half to play with. So we can do half an inch gusset. And yeah, let's see what that would be like. So let's go with half an inch. If I need to trim some off of this, I can. It's no big deal. And let's try half an inch on this side. And just double check that. The reason I do that is because my maths is not the greatest at all. So yeah, for me it's better for me to actually just check it first. So yeah, we can come in by another bit. So I'm just going to trim up, and then we'll get the last gusset in. Okay, let's try that instead, half an inch. And I suppose we should do half an, I'll go one less than half an inch of the bottom, because I don't want to lose too much in height. Okay. So just fold those over so we can see where our lines are. So it'll be something like that. Yeah, so we can have a tiny little border, and I think that would look really quite smart. So let's chop into these. So when you do your gussets, you've seen me do this before, you've seen lots of people probably, but just in case, you get little squares in the bottom corners. We're going to cut those off. So I'm going to come in at like a right angle, and then I'm going to come down to get like a slightly diagonal kind of a point. Once you've done these a few times, it does become like, it becomes much clearer. Practice makes perfect and all that. And then at the top here, I'm just going to do a slight sort of diagonal at the top as well. That just helps everything sit nicely, or should, if you've done it right, or if I've done it right. Okay, and then I'm thinking I'll have a thumb notch in the middle as well. Just a little one. Hopefully that was, yeah, relatively middle, that's fine. And then I'm just going to ink around it. Okay, and I'm just going to bone folder those gussets down just a little bit, so that we are, you know, not adding bulk in unnecessary places. This just allows me then to put something a bit, you know, chunkier in the pocket. Okay, I like that. So let's use my tacky glue, and we're just going to glue those gussets onto the page. Will be about there, so we just get a slight border all the way around. Oh, sorry, it's just straightening up. There we go. Really pretty paper that is. Those blue flowers. Well, both the Tim Holtz and the my porch prints. Like both. Okay, so now in Tanya's video, she had a playing card as her focal point. Now this technically counts as embellishing, so I kind of don't want to rush into it. Oh, I've left, got ink on it. Because that's quite big on the piece, isn't it, really? So I might decide to do something else. Okay, I'm back. Now I think I'm just going to keep the decorations fairly minimal. So I'm just going to aim for this middle piece. And I'm thinking something as simple as the butterfly and the circle could look very, very nice. Because obviously we've got the busyness of the background. So I just feel like, and obviously we've got the playing cards. Just think, yeah, I like the simplicity of it, I think. So let's go for that. And obviously once we actually have something in the belly band, that will add even more to the page as well. So let's pop that somewhere there. And let's go for this blue butterfly. Now I'm having to be very conscious that I don't want to be using butterflies on absolutely everything, because that is my that is what I would happily do if I, I would happily do it. So but it's, there is probably such a thing as too many butterflies, I suspect. Let's have that. So that's how that page is going to look, obviously with the correct size ring hole enforcer in cream. I think I'm doing cream. I'm not putting it on yet because I'm still undecided whether I do want to use cream. I probably am going to use that colour, but just to be sure, I'm sort of not committing to them just yet, but I really like how that will look. So that's that one. And then on this side, now I liked the decorations of these. So these are some Tim Holtz ephemera as well. Very simple, very sort of like French, Parisian, to go with all the blues and everything. But I've got that stain where I tried out the playing card and I got stuff on it. So then I thought maybe I could add a bit of lace behind the embellishments, like so. And then, yeah, just have it be, obviously I'm making it a little bit more feminine than most people would with Tim Holtz, but yeah, I just feel like that's very me. And yeah, it just suits me, I think. So I'm just putting some splotches because I don't want to use too much glue and have it like shine through this fabric. And that just sort of, disguises that mark. and brings in a bit more texture and layers. Okay, that should be plenty. And because I'm gluing on fabric, I will use this for the pieces on top. And then that will be it for today. I don't know what I'm putting in the pockets yet, so we'll leave that for the time being. And yeah, that's basically this page done. So we went from junk mail, that piece of junk mail, covered it with some interesting splotchy paper on the other side, and then went for a digital on this side. And yeah, I think that's turned into a very cool page, a very strong page as well, with all the layers and everything. It's quite strong, and yeah, there's stopped me throwing that piece of recycling away. A bit more glue there. So I'll just as I say, I thought it was going to be more mixed media today. That was the intention I sat down to have. But you know, once you actually start working on these things, sometimes you change your mind. So I've just got a few glue balls. I think I put a bit too much glue, so I'll just try that again, but a little bit less. No, she says. A little bit less. That is not how I do things, is it? Let's just smear that in a bit. Okay. So I don't want the shiny residue coming through. It's the only trouble with fabric glues is you do get that shininess sometimes, but I think we've gotten away with it. I don't mind it kicking up a little bit because it does give an element of texture anyway. And that's us done on that page. So we have our gusseted pocket, so plenty of room there for something. And we have then complete contrast, still with the blue, so I do feel like they go together, with the playing card belly band, and of all that grungy gold, which yeah, looks a little bit like faux leather. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, I think, as far as a very simple page goes, but you know, it's got a lot of interest in it, I think. So I will leave it there, and I will say goodbye, and I'll hopefully catch you on the next video. And if you're sticking around for more Tim Holtz, then I hope to see you on the next part of this ring bound journal. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye for now.